Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to this final run of Power Up with Pride 2024. My name is Joker. I'm still here with you after that fantastic Subnautica run by Rubik's 37. We are now going into our finale run of Hollow Knight One Hand Any Percent. Before we do jump in, we are going to be closing the previous bid war that we had open of how is hydrosity pronounced. And with a couple of final big donations, we will have our total there. We had an anonymous $25 donation that went to Hydro City. We also have a $25 donation from Sunny Shortcake, who said, "Bug game? Bug game." And that also went to Hydro City. So, without further delay, drumroll please. Chat says, how is it pronounced? It is pronounced Hydro City, with a total of $50. Planet 4546B was in second at $25. And then Hydrosity is last at $10. You still do have a bid war open here for this Hollow Knight run. It is the Save or Leave the Grub bid war. You still can't affect it, but Save is currently very far ahead in the lead, but we still have a little bit of time. And remember, if we can hit that $10,000 mark by the end of the run, we're going to get ourselves a big showcase of Path of Pain one-handed. But that's enough from me. You've heard a lot from me. We now need to hear from my friend SawaYoshi with this amazing, talented, mind-blowing run, one-handed, of Hollow Knight. SawaYoshi, it's time to hand it off to you.
All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. We started off this event with Railkun's Crimson Clover, and over the weekend went through everything from Cats and Briefs, 4-game randomizers, to entire Sonic blocks, and Block. But even that's coming to an end. I'm SawaYoshi, and this is Hollow Knight One Hand Any Percent. I'm SawaYoshi once again, and today I have Insomnia May on the couch to experience this run with you all tonight. Say hi.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it should be a blast. I'm very interested to see just how far one-handed's been pushed.
Yeah, been pushed by one person. All right, so
You could say single-handedly.
Single-handedly. Yep. So get rid of one of these. Time is going to start on selecting the top option right here, which is classic mode. All right, are we all ready?
I think we are.
I'm ready, and I think we're all ready.
All right, one last countdown for the road. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Once again, hello, I'm SawaYoshi, and I am here today to speedrun Hollow Knight one-handed any percent to close out this event. Today is a very cool Sunday. It is actually a very hot Sunday, but you know what I mean. Yeah, let's get into it. Controls. You press, you can move sideways, you can jump, and you can attack in any of 4 directions, and I'll be using all of those. We'll also get a couple abilities as we're playing. We'll also be able to slash downwards on enemies to get a quick bounce as such, and we'll be using that for a couple skips later on as well. For anyone that doesn't know this game, Hollow Knight is a indie Metroidvania that kind of spurred the genre, the genre on in its infancies, if you will. It's a game released in 2017 by Team Cherry, and there is allegedly a sequel in development. I have no clue when we'll see that. And any percent in this game is just get the 3 dreamers and then beat the game as quickly as possible without major glitches, which has, I believe, a world record of real time just under 40 minutes. So I won't quite be getting a sub 40-minute run today, but I will get as close as I can, which will hopefully be pretty close. And you may notice, hey, this isn't any percent. Why is there a camera in the bottom right? And where is your left hand? All very good questions. This is one-handed, and I am playing with just my right hand. You can see my 3 fingers basically using modified arrow key controls, as well as my thumb for jump and my palm for attack, which is cursed, but it's all that I could find that really worked. Nice, good double spike. Yeah, and this is my controls that I'll be using for the entirety of this run, which is honestly not okay, I think. What do you think, May? Do you think it's okay to be using these controls for the entire run?
I think I've missed double spike so many times with 2 hands that seeing just doing it with 1 hand and not even mentioning it is criminal. Like, that is just so impressive to me.
Yeah, you know, that might be a little bit true. But yeah, there was a little trick earlier called double spike. It's not super easy, but once you get it practiced, you can get it with 1 hand with like maybe half consistency. It's not easy, and it's something that is a lot easier on a later patch. I will talk about that later. Here we're coming up on the first boss fight, which is False Knight, where we will do 1 damage rotation and then escape to the left. 1 damage rotation being 13 attacks on the armor, and then 8 on the inners, on the maggot inside. Here we go.
Nice.
Alright, and then 8 hits on the inside. And what this does is it makes the door, this wall to the left open up. And we're going to be opening this and skipping the rest of the fight. Usually we'd have to do 2 more extra cycles of damage, but you know, why do damage when you can just run away? It's faster. PM. Alright. And here we're coming in to pick up our first and only attack skill that we'll be picking up in this run. Our attack upgrade called Vengeful Spirit. Let me mash through the text. We'll be picking this up. This is a sideways fireball, which you can shoot using 3 nail hits worth of soul, which is what you see in the top left there. It does 3 nail hits worth of damage, so with this spell, it's important to remember 3 until about halfway through the run, where it's not as important to remember 3 anymore. And the Snail Shaman has locked us into this room, and therefore we have to go through the entire thing and defeat the Elder Balder at the end. Which is not a super big deal, we just have to use our ranged attack that we just got, because the Balder will roll up into its protective shell if we get too close. However, here's a little caveat. We need 4 fireballs worth of soul, and our max is 3 fireballs worth of soul, so we need to get 3 nail hits on a Balder that they spit out, which is completely RNG. So this is pray for good RNG. We have 1, and that is perfect RNG. It is a 50-50 chance to give a Balder, and a 50-50 chance to give an Acid Spit. And you really want the Balder if you want to get a good time. Each non-Balder Spit loses you roughly 1.5 seconds. And the most Balder Spits I've seen on 1 Balder is, I believe, 19. Which loses just about 30 seconds. However, that's also like a 1 in a billion chance or something.
Yeah, I think the record got broken recently too. I think someone got like 24.
I believe someone got... Yeah, that's true actually, yeah. So yeah, a new record was beaten for most Balder Spits in a run, which is most Balder Spits from 1 Balder in a run, which is, I believe, 24, 25-ish.
Looks like we have Jackman Marcus saying it's 25 is now the recorded record.
Alright, that sounds about right. 25, which I think is somewhere around the like 20 to 40 million in 1, or 1 in 20 to 40 million range, if I'm not mistaken with my math here. We also,
It makes me wonder if there was a casual player who was playing their first playthrough, they get to the Ancestral Mound, they get the S, they drop in, and then they just got like 20th plus spit boulder, and so after, 10, 15 spits or whatever, they die or quit out, and then they just get stuck for so much extra time because they're just convinced that there's no way to progress without a way
Yeah.
to cast the fourth spell.
It's entirely possible. Also, a little cool fireball skip there on one hand. We're gonna do another one here. Whoop. Nice. Alright, so we're into Green Path, which is the second area of the game, and first where we meet our little friend, Hornet Silksong. That's not her name. Her name is Hornet. And she is the first... no, not the first. She is a boss that we fight in this run, and the first that we fight with Vengeful Spirit. However, before that, we have to do a little bit of traversing. Here, we take out this Moss Knight. There we go. Pick up the Geo, and we keep going. Geo routing is important. Geo in this game is our money, our currency. You can see it in the top left. It says 135. We need a little bit of this for the rest of the run. So we'll be gathering it as we go. And another point of gathering Geo comes up pretty soon here. Not here, actually. We will be skipping Vengefliking and leaving Zote in this run. Instead, we'll be getting the 2 Moss Knights and 3 Geo Rocks under here. Whoop. Good RNG. You love to see it. They're very nice today because this is a marathon run. This gives us roughly 170 Geo to work with, which is a lot. And it's what we'll be working it with for the next 5-10-ish minutes. And here we go. Into who chat calls apparently Hornet best friend. This is Hornet. And we'll be using Fireball and our nail to do damage. Whoop. 1 health. I am going to play it a little bit safe. There we go. No, not scared at all. Not scared at all. We could have lost 2.5 minutes, but not scared. Completely fine. That was minus the PB somehow.
Well done.
Yeah. And we get Dash, which is on my pinky. Dash gives us the ability to dash. It's officially called Mothwing Cloak in-game. But it's our dash ability. Alright. We save quit back to Ancestral Mound. And we will get a little glitch, that's fine. And we'll keep going. As you can see, we can dash now. And this gives us access to an extra area that we can go through to get our next ability. And as we head over there, we don't have a lot to talk about here. If we have anything to read off, now would be a pretty good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to mention we do have a $12.18 donation from Denny Dalliance, putting it towards that closed poll, unfortunately, that says keep it even. Thank you so much for that donation. That inches us ever so closer to getting that $10,000 mark. We really want to see if we can hit it. I know it seems like we're a little bit far away, but if anyone everyone in chat could just even donate $5 to get a $5 hype train started, we can see that one-handed run here, or excuse me, the one-handed bonus run of the Path of Pain. Really technical, really difficult section. I know we want to see it, that $10,000 goal. That's what we need to get to. Let's see if we can do it, chat. I believe that we can do it. I really want to show off that Path of Pain incentive because it is a little bit more difficult than 90%. Okay, so real quick, skip here. Boop, boop. That's easy. Epogo. Not a super big deal. Alright, let's keep going. So we went through Fungal Waste there. A little bit of a movement segment. Not super difficult, but we'll do Mantis Bogo here. Boop, boop, boop. That's fine. Okay, nice.
Nice backup.
Yep, nice backup. Alright. Get this Mantis to come down here. And that's not gonna quite hit. That will. And we have picked up Mantis Claw, which is basically our wall jump in this game. Now we have all but one of the movement abilities that we'll be using in this run. So this is basically what we have for the rest of the run, minus 1 extra movement ability. We have our attacks, we have our movement, and we just have one more charm that we're moving to right now to kind of flesh out our movement slash combat. All right, going back through Forgotten Crossroads. We'll be collecting soul as we go. We want at least 6 hits of soul by the time we get over to the next boss fight. Oh yeah, quick reminder, by the way, because it's possible that people have forgotten. If you look in the bottom right of the screen, I'm only using one hand. Hello, there's my other hand. My other hand is just kind of sitting there, saying hi. Hello. All right. We need 2 more hits of soul, that's fine. All right, so now up next we have a little boss called Grubmother, which just needs 3 nails hits, 3 fireballs, and then 6 more nail hits. Boop, boop, there we go. And that's the boss fight done. This boss drops 50 plus a little bit geo, and we will be using that. The geo routing for this run is pretty well thought out. So, oops, that's a little bit early on that. That's fine. There we go. Brothers come out, we take those out, and that's where the plus a little bit comes from. Sit on the bench, and we go talk to the charm dealer Salubra, who will sell us charms, or charm dealer, I believe. No, charm lover Salubra, who will sell us charms. We get Shaman Stone, which makes our spells a little bit bigger and a little bit more powerful. It makes it 4 nail hits worth of damage instead of 3. And ooh, I'm taking a little bit of damage here. Let me play a little bit safe. And we talk to Sly and say hi. And Sly will show up in Dirtmouth the first town later. And oh no, I died. That is so unfortunate. We're gonna do a shade skip here. I'm gonna put on our charm that we just bought. Our shade is here. No fireball, good. And there we go. A little bit of a skip that you might not see in casual playthroughs. Whoop. And let's see if we can get this. Perfect. Little thing called walking storage, which makes it go fast. That's also frame perfect, by the way. All right.
Just casually one-handed frame perfect in the trick here. That's
Yeah.
No, that's
It's not
fine,
too
that's
bad.
fine.
I
fine.
have like, I think a 70, 80-ish% success rate with it. It's not too bad. It's also like 50 FPS instead of 60, so it's not as difficult, but you know. All right. We're about a third of the way into the run. May, what do you think about this run so far?
I think, looking at split times, this is way closer to a normal any percent run than it has any right being, and I'm learning like different Walkling storage setups and stuff, and like I'm just watching a regular run of any percent, and then I'll look down in the corner and just be reminded that it's being done on one hand and question everything.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Because I've been practicing recently for this event, and I was like, hey, I'll watch my stream back. And I decided to watch the stream back, and I kind of forgot on my own run that I was one-handed for like 5 minutes. So yeah, it's kind of easy to forget. But yeah, this is a one-handed run. My left hand is reserved for petting this field. Pet, pet, pet. Yeah, the main benefit to being able to run on one hand is you get to pet this field with your other hand, which is something that you really can't get away with not doing, you know? All right, I'm gonna do a little thing called sear skip here. There we go. And we fall down and leave the resting grounds. Feel truly one of the best orbs out there. Let's see if we can get this walking storage here. This one's a little bit more difficult. Let me see. Oh, we're just gaining. Oop, that's fine. All right, and now that we've gotten our dream nail, we are heading into the City of Tears to get our first of 3 Dreamers required to beat the game. Oop, there we go. Before that, we do go down through here. We pick up a little item called a Wander's Journal, and we also take out a little enemy called the Gorgeous Husk. Whoop. There we go. Nice parry. Alright, Wander's Journal we will be selling later to a character on the left side of the City of Tears. Alright, let's go to the left here. We'll be skipping the Colonist Seal to the right. We'll be getting a different one later. Alright, I have like no soul, but that's fine. Go into this little side room here, and we will go into a secret little area to beat Gorgeous Husk. This is a little mini-boss that gives us a hefty amount of Geo when beaten. And we'll be using all of this in the rest of the run. Take a quick heal. Leave. Fireball. There we go. Pick up the Geo. Nice. 616 is more than enough. Alright, here's a little skip that you probably didn't see in your casual playthrough. It's possible that you did, but it's very likely that you didn't. Like I said, you can pogo objects. You can do this. And kind of just skip the need to get Monarch Wings that double jump in this game. There's also a little skip here where, on this version, where there's a lever behind that door, and you can just hit it through the floor, because why would you not be able to? Alright. Yeah. There's a little funny story, actually, about how I started running one-handed. That I'll talk about it later, actually. We don't have much time before Watcher Nights. So we're heading into what is called usually the most difficult fight in any percent, which is Watcher Nights. This is pretty difficult, so I will let May commentate for this because I am going to need to focus.
Yep. Alright, so Watchers are kind of the gate for learning any percent. They are just single-handedly, I think they made up about 50% of the total runtime of my first run, just trying to follow through with the route casually. The first one that you can see on screen now isn't too bad. It's just one guy with a pretty limited selection of attacks. It can either swing, bounce, or roll. But the hard part now comes when there's 2 on screen, and with the pretty minimal equipment we've got, we don't have any source of invincibility, so our ability to dodge them is purely based on manipulating their positioning and good reflexes. So far it's going pretty well, and we want to try and get them stacked up like that, just so when we gather soul for heals, we're hitting both of them with the one cast, and it basically gives us double damage. When they're rolling, we can also jump on the other side of them and cast, and that'll give us double or even triple hits. Really nice fireball there. And we're on the last pair now, so this should be pretty smooth sailing. I don't want to jinx it, but it should be. Yep, cool. And now there's only one left. There we go, nice.
Nice. That was a 122 fight. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was really nice. Ooh.
Yeah. Oop. You know, the hardest part about one-handed is wall jumps. Wall jumps and, like, churning around. But hey, you know, it's going pretty well. I just looked over at my splits that I have running in the background. I am minus 18 to PB right now.
With the gold split. Don't
With the gold split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
That's pretty good, you know. A marathon run. No, I wasn't expecting anything special. I also did PB, like, yesterday. Went down from a 37, like, in-game time, or loadless, to a 3609, which is roughly, I think, 125th on SRC, which is top 20. So, if I say that a little bit differently, my right hand is better than 80% of Hollow Knight runners.
Oh god. Yeah, I just couldn't do it because I use 2 fingers just to jump. And that's already like 40%
Oh, yeah.
of my available.
Available hand estate.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because when I'm playing two-handed, I also use two fingers to jump. It's just my two thumbs, so it's not too bad of too big of an issue. Let's get some geo. So we're getting a little bit of geo here. We also picked up a hollow nest seal, which we'll be selling in roughly about 1 minute for a little bit of geo. We'll be getting a lump sum of, I believe, 1,100 geo from the relic dealer Lem. There's the relic dealer. Okay.
Imagine knowing the full NPC names and not just Lem, Salubra.
Imagine.
That one over there.
Over there. That's what you call Willow.
No, I know Willow's name. I know most of the NPCs' names, but like specific enemies, it's definitely like that guy, the really annoying one.
Yeah. Sometimes you hear Hollow Knight runners talking about Jinky.
Jinky, Norman,
Jinky, Norman,
Jennifer.
Whoop. Let's see if we can get this. Nice. One-handed rafters. Maybe left side rafters, but it's still rafters. Oop. I'll just go around. Alright, we pick up another Hollow Nest seal here. This gives us another 450 geo to work with later on.
Am I going to be called a boomer if I call Rafters Root new?
Probably. It's been like, I think, a year and a half at least.
That's new.
Yeah. It's like half of the
Relatively.
time I've been speedrunning Hollow Knight. Alright, so we sell our things. We need 2,300 and I believe 57 or somewhere around there, Geo. So we have plenty. And we will be going back over to the right side of City of Tears. Yeah, it's fine. To go ride the stag back to the Forgotten Crossroads. Send that elevator up because why not? Alright.
Oh no!
Oop, it's fine. Not a big deal. It was like maybe a minute.
Yeah,
We can still.
thank you, Lurian hard save.
Yep.
Actually, no thank you, Lurian hard save, because you took Spire Bench.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I
it
did
would
take
have
Fire
been
Bench.
very thank you, Lurian hard save.
Otherwise, it would have been very bad because I would have started at Salubra.
It would have been a one major glitch showcase
Yeah.
in doing more
I would
story.
have just lost all of 2,357 geo. Actually, I wonder what the routing would be in that case. I guess it would just be beat False Knight and City Crest into City to get your shade back. Something like that. I don't know. We're gonna head back down and we're gonna get our shade and move on our merry way through the rest of the route. And this is where I realized that I shouldn't have hit the elevator up because this could happen. Not a big deal.
To be fair, that's a pretty niche
Yeah,
routing.
not really something that you come across super often. Because usually you would be resetting.
Yeah, it's prime marathon strat.
Yep. Oop. Nice. What people used to call Photoshop jump. Now it's not really called Photoshop jump anymore.
Oh god, I'm being exposed.
The boomer of all of us. Oop. Yeah, I've only been running this game for like 3 years, a little bit more than 3 years, I think, which is still like half of Hollow Knight's lifespan. It's also not quite super new. I know some runners who have just started running this year. And I'm like, hats off to you.
Yeah, there's a pretty steady influx of new runners. The scene itself has just grown so much over the time
Yeah.
I've been here.
It's grown so much, and it'll keep growing until Silksong comes out at the very least. Which, who knows when that'll be. We may we may have another generation of children before that happens. Oop, let me sit on the bench. And not sit on the bench, but like, you know.
This has to be one of the most terrifying rooms if it goes wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
it's fine.
So I do want to ask here, you've been receiving a lot of love on this run here through donations. When would be a good time for me to go ahead and jump in with some of those?
Real quick, let me just introduce Crystal Peak, which is basically just a movement fest, and we have a little skip in this next room. We'll see if we can hit that, and we'll have plenty of time after. All right here, we see we have this enemy. Oop, there we go. Nice.
Nice.
First try Pogax. All right, and if we have stuff to read, then now is a great time to do so.
Well, absolutely. Like I said, you've been receiving a lot of love for this run. We also did start up a $5 hype train. Again, $5 from Baraki, who says choo choo. We had $5 from Veriphage with no comment, but thank you very much. $5 from Jackman Marcus, who said, as an LGBTQIA plus person myself, this is a cause that's close to my heart. Thank you for your great work. And $10 from Hockey Babbler, who said, buying 2 tickets to the $5 donation train. One for me, one for my cat. And I did see, Hockey, you mention that you wanted to resend that ticket offer for your cat. So there's a $5 ticket for the hype train open for anybody who could take it. We still want to get towards that $10,000 goal in order to see the Path of Pain one-handed. We're at 7,545 for our friends here at True Colors United. So let's see if we can't get to that. Let's see if we can't get to that $10,000 goal here by the end of the run.
A little bit more to go, but hey, I believe. I still believe. All right, we took a little damage to get a optimal cycle here. 1 health, not scared at all. Go under through the spikes, and there we go. We're through, and now we pick up our last ability of the game. Of the run, we pick up our Crystal Heart, which is our super dash a la Metroid, and we'll be using this to get specifically 1 Dreamer that is required for the run. We'll also be using it because it's just a little bit faster than dashing.
I was about to point out that you forgot to hit the levers just outside the C-dash room.
Yeah, the 1XX.
Yeah.
The 1XX in all of us.
Oh, God.
Yep. All right. And going through what is now the infected crossroads as of roughly 1 Lurian ago. And we'll be going down through here. We have a little bit of a skip called Forgotten Crossroads Acid Skip. If we can not take damage there, that would be absolutely splendid. All right, C dash, boop, boop. There we go. Nice. On one hand. Oh yeah, reminder, this is a one-handed run. Half of you've probably forgotten at this point. All right, let's go through Fog Canyon.
And also, that previous room Sawa did a strat known as Tronomi Drop, and the room itself is referred to in the community, at least it was like 3 years ago, as the bathroom.
That's the first I've heard of it, so it's before my time.
It's so sad.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's just too brutal for me, you know. Yeah, dodge that. All right, going down into what may be the most disliked boss in this game. Welcome to Umu. Umu can give one of a number of patterns, ranging from very good RNG to very, very, very bad RNG. The worst RNG, you just straight up lose roughly, I think, 30 seconds. And you can't really do much about it. That's a little bit too far right. Let me see if I can't 2-cycle this, but I don't think, yeah, that's a little bit far right. We'll see. Yeah, not a big deal, we'll get a 3-cycle. Yep, here we go, Dream Nail, Dream Nail, Dream Nail. Get our full soul. Alright. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and we get an extra. How nice of you. This is the bad RNG. Umu just decided that we wouldn't get a good Umu fight today. Which is fine, we'll just get a good Umu fight anyways. for a somewhat acceptable Umu fight.
Yeah. Unfortunate positioning in the platform there, so we couldn't get big Metroid skip. I mean, 2-cycle. Um,
There we go.
yeah, pretty clean 3-cycle.
Yeah, not super big of a roadblock in this right here. And we don't get the wall cling storage. That's fine. Oh, that's low. We're living. All right. Yeah. We're about 2/3 of the way through the run, I think. May, what do you think about this run so far?
I think it's pretty solid. I mean, yeah, the one-handed aside, even just for a marathon run, yeah, just a solid marathon run. And then, like I say, I look down in the corner, realize it's one-handed, and yeah, am just blown away. And I'm also learning that I've been running this game a lot longer than I thought, and everyone has forgotten the ancient lore.
The ancient lore of Holland. The ancient lore of Holland. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. These words are for you alone. Jinky skip. All right.
Underplat woo.
Yep. Woo. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. While we exit out of archives, we have a little bit of time, I think, for reads. Maybe for one or two.
Fantastic. Well, you're still receiving a lot of love here. Soulmass218 donated $20.10 and said, I barely finished Hollow Knight with both hands, and SawaYoshi is speedrunning it with only one. There is no word to express how impressive this is. Keep up the great gaming, gamer. We also had a $50 donation from Corundum Core, who said 10 tickets for the $5 hype train. We're still trying to get that hype train rolling to get to that $10,000 goal in order to see out the one-handed bonus incentive of Path of Pain. Let's see if we can't make it happen. We're so close. You don't have much time left, gamers.
Not much time left, and also not much time for the save or leave the grub. What is it called? Bid war, because we have roughly 3 minutes until we get to Beast Den, which is where the grub is, where the grub resides, and that is the limit as to how long that one can go. So get those donations in quick. How is it looking right now?
Right now, Save is in the lead at $1,338.82, and Leave is at $196.75.
Okay, I think that's pretty solid. I think that's pretty solid.
Just a little bit.
Who knows? We might see a $1,000 donation, which would also get us closer to Path of Pain. All right. Oop. All down here. Into Deep Nest. Spider warning. If you are not very good with spiders, might be a good time to look away for like 5-ish minutes. All right, we're gonna go down here. You don't see this area in most any percent runs. The reason for this is it's a little bit slower than going through Queen's Gardens, but it's also a little bit easier. And I just don't want to be doing the hardest trick in any percent on one hand if I can avoid it. So we'll be going through here instead.
Yeah, I did see taking the non-QGA route, and that made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
It's already, impressive enough you're not going out of your way to get D-Dark, so I think not doing QG as a trade-off is extremely fair.
Yeah. A little bit of talk, now that you mentioned D-Dark. The history of this run and the routes that I've used. I used to do a route that used, that got Desolate Dive and Descending Dark, which was a pretty good route. I think it got me down to like a 50, 45-ish loadless. Yeah, a 45-ish. And then I did a randomizer run, and I did on one hand, because why not? And I did Watcher Knights with Shade Soul, and that's it. And I'm like, hey, this could work. So I decided to try the base any percent route, and it went pretty well, and here we are. I don't know why I decided to do randomizer with one hand, but the main reason why I started doing one-handed any percent is simply because my left hand was hurting after a day of practicing 107%. I was like, huh. If my left hand hurts, why not just only use my right hand? And I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. And then I kept doing it, and then here we are. All right,
Have
into
a
beast
much
den.
more ergonomic one-hand setup because I know when I did it, it was 10 times worse because I had my thumb like curled under, like near where my middle finger is,
Oh,
and so it
jeez.
just was like awful.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no, why? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the main issue with this is you have to use your palm to hit nail, but that's completely fine. It's not a big deal. All right, into beast den. And beast den. Let's see if we can do devout skip here. One-handed devout skip. Anyone? Nice. Got
Nice.
the delayed devout skip. Oop, and we take damage. That delayed devout skip isn't super easy even on two hands, so I'm pretty surprised that I just got it there. We'll take a couple heals though, because it is very easy to take damage in this, like so.
And it's very easy to take 2 damage, whereas most of the game you can kind of skate by on 2 health. It's very easy to either get hit into
All right.
spikes or
How's the
hit
grub?
about.
We
It is
are.
time.
It is time. We are saving the grub.
We are saving the grub. Grub, be free. We will see you again some other time, and we'll also be taking damage because why not? All right. Thank you all for your generous donations. They will be all going to a good cause, as will this run, hopefully. Going to a good ending. There we go. Nice. All right. So, that's our last like movement area, really. We just have Hera to get our third of 3 dreamers, and then it's just the final boss, and we're done with the run. We have 4 minutes, 4 or 5-ish minutes if we want to meet that incentive. So get those donations and click. All right. All 3 masks are gone from the Black Egg Temple, and we have been given access to the final boss of this game. Alright. Let's go down. Get a little bit of soul. And keep going. We'll make our exit out of Beast Den. Go to the distant village Stag. And then fast travel back to our first little town that we went to, Dirtmouth. And from there it's just the final boss. Alright. The Stag, and this is our last geo expenditure. We have 24 left over. 24 for... I don't know what the 24 is for. It's 24! What else? What explanation do you need? It's just 24.
It's to bribe THK with.
It's a bribe THK to not give us 24 parries.
Yeah.
Alright. I don't know. I think the highest number of parries I've seen is like 13. Alright, that's not super important. We'll go down into Forgotten, or rather Infected Crossroads one last time. And we will go into the Black Egg Temple, which was right here the entire time. Wouldn't you believe it? The final boss was 4 rooms into the game. Of course, the door does not open without 3 dreamers. Alright, one final C-dash. Through this dark room.
The door does open without dreamers. You just need to do interaction storage on the Black Egg door.
True. Wait, how would that even work?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. I was gonna say if there was something like that, any percent would be down to like 2 minutes instead of 5. All right, it is time for the final boss. This is the root of all evil in this game, in this ending at the very least. It is time for the Hollow Knight. May, if you want to take over the comms.
Yep. Alright, so Hollow Knight has a fair few attacks. In this first phase, the main ones will be that parry there, which we want to avoid hitting, and it nullifies any damage that you would be doing to it, and then counterattacks. And then there's the triple sword slash, which is a pretty good damage source. It can do a dash, which is great because we can get one of those double hit fireballs I mentioned during the Watch Night fight. Just like on that attack. And then... Okay, yeah, this is a lot nicer now, starting to get some of those dashes. And then this phase, we have a stealth stab where all damage is reduced to 1. So this is mainly a soul gathering for these regular ones. And now we have the pillars, which are a little scary, but not as scary as on current patch, as if you've played that, they do 2 damage, whereas here they do 1. This fountain attack is great. We can get really good damage in here, and we should be getting close to the final scream now.
Nice screen skip.
Good scream skip.
Whoop.
And time should be coming up pretty soon. A little scary, this bounce, because it can be a little janky, but
Nice.
very nice.
That is down, and time is on the fade to black. That is when we'll be calling time. And welcome on in, and thank you for watching the entire event. 4 days of runs, all finishing off with Hollow Knight one-handed any percent, and that is time.
GG's.
Woo, that was a pretty good run, honestly. I golded the last split by like 18 seconds, which is pretty good.
Just a little.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. That was a pretty good run. Without the death to going back to King Station, that would have been probably pretty close to PB, honestly. If I had done that and a couple of other things better.
That Enuma would have been like a 20-second PB.
Yeah, honestly, that is I am more than happy with that as a marathon run. Speaking of marathon, how is that Path of Pain looking right now?
Currently, thanks to all of the generous donations from chat throughout the weekend, we are sitting at $7,779.99.
It's a nice clean number at the very least. 777,999.
Yeah, it's a very symmetrical number. Thank you everyone for your generosity. Do you have anything else you would like to share here before we wrap up the run?
Yeah. Now that the run's over, you all should get Hollow Knight, by the way. It's like $15 on Steam. And it's also gonna go for like 50% off on the Steam sale, I believe, which is in how long? Like 2 weeks? You should all play Hollow Knight so that you're ready when Silksong comes out. Big shoutouts to the entire Hollow Knight speedrun community, rando community, modding community, everyone there, as well as anyone that's in the Japanese speedrun communities. Minna miteru! And to everyone helping out with this event as well. May, do you have any shoutouts or things to say? Where can people find you?
Yep, I can be found on Twitch at Insomnia SR, or Twitter under the same handle. I mainly am going to be running and streaming 107 practice for Oz Speedruns Marathon, which is coming up in about a month or so. But apart from that, just check out the wider speedrunning community and the Hollow Knight speedrunning community. They're lovely there. But apart from that, I think that's all I've got to say, apart from thanks for having me on and congrats on a great run.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks for coming by on comms. It was a blast to have you here. Hey, you can find me on Twitch at SawaYoshiYT, co-host at SawaYoshi, and my Japanese stuff on X, formerly Twitter, at SawaYoshiYT or SYYT Streams. Thanks to everyone involved with this event, all the Power Up with Pride staff, everyone involved with volunteering with stream tech, stream prep, hosting, chat moderation, all of that. Anyone that's donated this weekend to a great cause in True Colors United, and thank you for watching. This has been SawaYoshi, specifically their right hand, bringing you Hollow Knight to close it out, and I'll hand it back to Joker to close it out. I'll have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, SawaYoshi and May, for that fantastic run and commentary. I've always enjoyed watching Hollow Knight runs, and seeing it taken apart one-handed is fantastic. Before I wrap it up here from my shift and we get on to our finale, I want to go ahead and notate some of the rest of the love here that you've received for this run. We had $100 from Zando Toaster, who said this run is hands down incredible. My hands are tied. I have to donate for this run. We've seen it firsthand. True Colors is in safe hands with Power Up with Pride, raising money for them. To the matter at hand, let's give a big hand to Sawa. No pun intended. We also received a $99.99 anonymous donation. And Anonymous says, the numbers have been even for too long. Also a reminder, this run is being done with one hand. We also did have a $60 anonymous donation with no comment, and Arborelia donating $25 as well with no comment, bringing us to that total you see here on screen of $7,779.99. Friends, gamers, guys, gals, non-binary pals, thank you so much for joining us for 4 amazing days of speedruns, races, showcases, all benefiting our friends at True Colors United. Let me just tell you a little bit about them before we do go here. True Colors United implements innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experiences of LGBTQ plus young people. In a world where the struggle for housing justice knows no borders, we're creating a world where all LGBTQ plus youth can live in safety. This year, we're launching a first-of-its-kind research project in partnership with Kenneth and Jacob's House, dedicated to identifying the needs of homeless LGBTQ plus youth in East Africa. Your donations went towards that cause, went towards helping build that house and do that research. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us, for donating, for watching, for sharing the stream, for telling your friends, for cheering on all of our runners and racers. My name is Joker. I've been honored to be here as part of the stream, as a host, as a runner, as a talent member for the pre-show surprise blind races. It's been a fantastic weekend. We're gonna get some staff members in here. Everybody who is ready for the finale, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a blast. It's been an honor hosting the finale, the final runs. Thank you so much for joining us with Power of Pride. Stay tuned. We do have that finale and having all the staff members come in. So stay with us for just a little bit longer, friends. We'll have just a little bit more coming up with Power Up with Pride 2024.